All right, guys, welcome to my channel today. I was fortunate enough to get this Hanevear H100 bike in. This thing is a folding 20-inch bike. Not only that, it's all-wheel drive, guys. So this bike, it comes with mirrors. It comes with a cell phone holder. It's got a horn already on it. This thing's got directionals. It's got a brake light. It's got rear suspension. It's got front suspension on this thing. Like I said, it's got twin motors, 750 motors. If you're comparing this to some other bikes out there, like the XP 3.0, that's only got a 500 watt, one motor on it. That bike is going for $1179 right now on sale. This bike is on sale also. This thing's $11.99 on sale. But you don't have to buy the cell phone holder. You don't have to buy the mirrors. Again, it comes with two motors. It comes with the big seat. It's ready to go, guys. This thing is the whole package. So this bike, I feel, is very suited for the first-time e-bike buyer that doesn't know what he wants. The gearing in this thing is okay. So this thing comes with a 1428 freewheel on the back. I would probably change it to an 1132 probably, would better suit me. But you know, this is a good middle of the road. It's a starting place, and this thing is a super starting place. Like I said, you're not going to have to buy anything for it when you first get this bike. This is the whole package right here. So if you're a first-time e-bike buyer, this is something you definitely want to consider. I would put this on your priority list. If you're looking for a folding bike, again, folding bikes are great for the first-time e-bike people because you know, you don't know, are you going to take it with you? You can take it with you because you can fold it. You don't have to go out and buy a hitch for your car and a hitch rack and everything else. That's why our first bikes that we got were the folding bikes. So I think this is a super bike for the first-time buyer, and it's a super bike even if you're not the first-time buyer. On all-wheel drive bikes, guys, you've got to try this bike, and you're going to be like, holy cow, I'm never going back to a single-drive motor. This thing has torque like you wouldn't believe. So this thing in total with the two motors, because it's 750 a piece, this thing peaks out over 2,000 watts, okay? This thing has 160 Newton meters of torque. This thing is a very quick and torquey bike. The hills, it's not a problem with this bike at all. So even if you're a heavier person, this bike is for you. So again, it's a folding bike. The basket's extra, but we got the basket on this bike. The mirrors come with it. The basket's only $32, something like that, as compared to other companies. They get way more than that from. What else can I tell you about it? Again, it's got rear suspension, front suspension, the fork, you can lock it in, lock it out. It's got 160 millimeter hydraulic brakes on this thing. The kickstand is a heavy-duty kickstand. It's adjustable. This thing comes with CST tires. They're all-terrain tires that are on this bike. They're relatively quiet. This is a 20-inch by 4-inch tire on here compared to the electric XP 3.0 that comes with 3-inch tires that when they put the hydraulic brakes on it, they change the front tire to like a 2.5-inch tire. So when you compare these two tires, this is way bigger, and bigger is better because it's going to give you more suspension because that bigger tire will take the bumps better. All right, guys, the one downfall I find in this bike is the frame on this thing is not a step through. So there's good things and bad things about that. Number one is we've been hearing about these step throughs, and the frames are not very rigid. They have a flex to them. So, and they all do. I haven't really seen any out there that don't have some flex to them. Some are worse than others. But this thing has no flex, guys. I'm going to tell you that. The way this thing is designed, there is absolutely no flex in this thing. This is a super strong frame, but the downfall is trying to get on a bike. So if you have some disabilities that don't allow you to pick your foot up too high, your leg up too high, then it's going to be a little bit of an issue. Other than that, these bikes, I can swing my leg over the rear because the rear is actually pretty low. I mean, if you look where I am here, you know, I can swing my leg over this thing no problem. And seat is probably, can go down another 2 inches or so. You can also go over the center bar on this thing, and what you should do is you put your kickstand down, you put your hands on the brakes, you tip your bike down, and that lowers the bike, and then you can swing your leg over it. So there's many ways to get on this bike, but like I said, if you're somebody that can't swing their leg, this might be an issue for you, and you may want to steer clear of this bike. But I think that probably 95% of the people can get on this bike no problem. It's a heck of a lot easier to get on this bike than it is to get on a 26-inch bike. I'm going to tell you that because I own plenty of those. So I don't know what else I can tell you about this bike other than I think it's a great deal. This thing is under $1,200, like I said. Rear suspension, you know, a big battery in it. It's got a 16 amp hour battery in this thing as compared to the electric over there that you have to purchase the extended range battery that's only a 14.4. You can get it for cheaper money with the 10 amp hour battery in it. This thing comes with the 16 amp hour battery to start with. So, you know, you've already got a decent battery. You're pushing 2 motors. I do not know what the range is on it. We will do a range test in the future. I have watched other videos that people are amazed at the range this thing gets. So we'll find out. All right, guys, so we're going to go into it a little more in depth. I'll show you some of the individual things, but I want to go over the bike first so you can see what it looked like. We are going to do another video where we're going to compare this bike to the electric 3.0 over there. I think at the end of it, you're going to say, hey, this is a much better buy. So again, a recap on this thing. So it's got a 16 amp hour battery in this thing, and I want to tell you this thing's got LG cells in the battery, so that's a good thing. You either want Samsung or LG. You want one of the big companies out there that are producing these. So again, there's a 1-year warranty on this bike, guys, so you know you're all set with the warranty. And like I said, the company's pretty good about answering your questions and answering you when you send them a question, or if you have a warranty issue, they're going to get back to you. So hey, we'll move on. I'll show you the things on this. We're going to do a ride on this bike. We're going to do a comparison. We're going to do a hill climb of this bike. So that's coming up right now. It is about 32 degrees out there, and I'm not going out today. All right, guys, this is the Hanevear H100. We're going to check this bike out today. So the wire management on it's simple, but it looks pretty good to me. The brakes on this bike are KTET. I've never heard of them before, but they seem to be all right. I took it for a little ride to see how it was. The hand grips are really basic on this thing, but hey, that's all you need, I guess. This is the on-off switch for the light. This is the switch for the rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. We have a directional on this bike, so we get right and left. And we've got a horn on this thing, so I think it'd still use a bell. This is the on-off switch for the bike itself. You've got your plus, minus, which everybody probably knows what it's for. This is the phone holder they give you. It's kind of basic, but it works. All right, this is the fold-down stem on this thing so that you can fold this bike up because it is a folding bike. Clip back into position here, lock it in. This controls the stem to go up and down so you can set it for your height. Bike itself is pretty nice. So it's got a colored screen, you know, you don't find that on too many. So you got your odometer reading here. You got your passes. You go up to 5 on this, but you can go to 9. You got your trip. You got your max speed, and you got your average speed. And there's your battery. So you got your enamel shifter here, 7 speed like normal. Twist throttle on this thing. Here's the big seat I was telling you guys. It looks just like my wife's X-Wing seat, so I'm assuming it might be one. So this light here's got a halo on it. It's pretty nice. These are the bosses for the front basket. The shock is basic, but you can lock it out. I didn't see any settings as far as adjustments, so all right, guys, here's the brakes, and this thing, the rotor and the caliper is a 160 caliper on this bike. You get your shock here. This is your 750 hub motor. It's a geared hub motor. The tires are CST tires. It's got metal fenders on it. You don't find that too many times nowadays. So The battery's in the tube on this bike. It's a 16 amp hour battery. You can charge it in the side port here by just sticking it in, or you can take the battery out and charge it. So here's the Canis sensor, guys. Yep, it's got the Canis sensor. This brand is used by electric bikes also. The pedals are pretty decent. They're aluminum pedals with reflectors on them. It's got a disconnect for the motor, hub motor in the rear, which is nice. The kickstand's a decent kickstand. It's adjustable, and it's all the way to the back, so that's nice. Shock for the rear suspension here. Not the greatest thing, but it's a shock. This thing goes back and forth like this. You know, it's enough to give you a little bit of a cushion. The rack's decent on it. I don't know what the weight. The rear, again, it's 160 millimeter, and the shock, here's another look at this thing. Doesn't have much travel, but like I said, it's enough. The got a Hanevear shifter on it. It's a 7-speed shifter, like I said. It's a turny shifter. It has a Hanevear freewheel on that thing, and there's your brakes. And that freewheel, by the way, is a 14 by 28. This is a 52 tooth crank on this thing. And again, back to the seat. The key is underneath. I hate the fact that they do this, but all these bikes with it in the tube seem to do it. You can also disconnect the front hub motor, making it easy to change the tire. Also, the rear is a 750. You've got a brake light, a running light, and directionals on this bike, guys. So that's nice. You don't see directionals on too many bikes. This is what you get with it: a pump. You get the owner's manual, you get mirrors, you get a charger, 4-amp charger too, by the way. So, and it's also got a fan in this charger, so it's decent. So like I said, you got the manual. In this manual, you can set your speedometer up and change it. You know, you can also go through each setting. You can override it, and this is some of the error codes that you can have. We're going to compare the Electric XP 3.0 to this bike. All right, guys, so this is going to wrap up this introduction to this bike. If you're interested in this bike, please go into my description and use my link. It helps my channel out. Thank you very much, guys.